Another Brick fan here with a BrickHeadz review. This is Hagrid and Buckbeak. This is set 40412 and was a gift with purchase in September 2020. It contains 270 pieces and it includes BrickHead number 102 and 103. You had to spend $100 on Harry Potter merchandise in order to get this set in early September. Let's go ahead and get these built up and then we'll take a look at the finished model. So here we have Hagrid and Buckbeak. Both of these BrickHeadz are kind of non-traditional in the sense that Hagrid is taller than a normal BrickHead, which of course makes sense because he's part giant. And Buckbeak here is a hippogriff, so he's kind of a horse bird. So he's a lot wider or longer depending on how you look at it. If you look at him from the side, you see that his head is moved forward. And he has these wing pieces that extend backward more. So he's much wider from the side than a traditional BrickHead. If you take a look at Hagrid, he's pretty much on that 4x4 base and square and pretty much goes up as a column, whereas Buckbeak is pushed forward in the front and pushed backward as well. Makes a lot of sense. Obviously, these changes to the traditional BrickHead mold are absolutely appropriate to the figures. Let's take a closer look at each one of these individually. Starting with Hagrid, you see that he's wearing a robe. He's wearing his big trench coat over the front here. He has this belt down here done with this very large belt buckle. Lots of hair on Hagrid. You see this very big dark black hair build here with his beard. Traditional eyes, a larger forehead than most BrickHeadz. Most are just one brick high. He's got the 2 brick high forehead here. He is carrying one of these newer lantern pieces as well as his umbrella accessory. You see the texturing that is done with the hair here on the sides as well as in the back is very complex. I like how they did the robe here with these 2x4 panels. And also you can see that his legs here consist of a 1x2 brick as well as 2 additional plates. So that makes his legs a little bit longer than the traditional BrickHead as well. So I think the way they did the robes turned out really nicely. And then of course he has a hand facing forward here to carry that lantern. And the hair is done pretty much the same on both sides with some good detailing there. Not overly colorful, but certainly accurate to the figure with that big trench coat that he normally wears, and then the extra height really adds to this BrickHead as well. Here's a closer look at Buckbeak. He is in this gray color palette with just a little bit of white feathering here on the crown of his head. I like how the beak was done with this kind of pyramid piece here in the front, and then one of these roof corners done to build the rest of his beak. I think that makes for a very nice effect. As I mentioned in the beginning, his head, although about the same size as a normal BrickHead, is shifted forward to give him the length or width that he needs to show off the fact that he is horse-like. You can see he has these clawed feet in the front, which are just done with a angled piece here. The wings are built up on the sides here. A lot of use of these slopes with the angle on them, which I think turned out very nicely. You can see they're done here in the corners to give that kind of a corner look and some feather effect, I think, for Buckbeak. In the back, you can see he's got this nice tail build, very plain on the back here. I would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit more of those slope pieces to represent feathers on the back of his head, but it doesn't look bad. And certainly these are viewed from the front most often, as both sides are pretty much built exactly the same way. And overall, I think it's a very good look for Buckbeak. I think this is a really good BrickHead set. I do like these 2-packs, and there's been several for the Harry Potter or Wizarding World series, where we have Newt and Grindelwald is one, Harry Potter and Hedwig is one, and then Dumbledore and Ron is another. So several BrickHeads have been built around the Harry Potter franchise, and I'd like to see some more. There's certainly some good characters out there. Neville and Sirius Black, maybe. Draco Malfoy, perhaps. I do like getting gifts with purchase. However, this is one that you had to spend quite a bit. You had to spend $100, I believe, on Harry Potter themed sets. And they're not as widely available, obviously, as a gift with purchase. So I think this would have been better as a retail set instead of a gift with purchase, because I think the demand for something like this is going to be very high, and having it as a gift with purchase just limits the availability of it. Although I'm certain that was by design from the LEGO group. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this BrickHead set. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. I've included links to my BrickHeadz reviews as well as my Harry Potter playlist up here on the screen.